Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. It's Platinum God Games here, bringing you The Last of Us 2, new game, whole game, grounded permadeath walkthrough guide. Wow, what a mouthful. This series of videos will be focused on big sections of the game, such as Abby Day 1, Ellie Day 1, etc. However, it'll be broken up into chapters, so feel free to jump between the chapters as you see fit. I'll take you through every encounter and show you my strategies, whether it be stealth or kill all or a bit of both. I'll discuss contingencies for in case sections go bad, which it can very well happen. I'll show you where I collect all of my items, parts, weapons, holsters, training manuals. I'll show you what I upgrade when, and I'll tell you why. I'll also show you all the door codes, gate codes, safe codes, and I'll be showing you a few tips and tricks on dealing with enemies such as clickers, bloaters, and shamblers, and some hidden items along the way. So please don't forget to like, subscribe, and check that bell alert so you know when new videos go live. I hope you enjoy the series. Here we go. Welcome to All of Ellie Day 2, the second installment in this series. Now, if you watched my previous video, All of Ellie Day 1, you'll know when we returned to the theatre after the birthday gift, we crafted everything we needed to craft to free up the items. So we already have a trap mine for the Seraphites Red Door. We already have a crafted, upgraded melee weapon. So the next thing we're going to look at is upgrading the crafting branch in the skills tree for craft more smoke bombs, and then later on in the Seraphites we will upgrade faster stealth kills. So now in the start of Hillcrest, all we're going to be doing is gathering up some items. In the meantime, a little bit about me for those of you who don't know me. I'm a completionist gamer, Twitch variety streamer, and content creator, so check out my social links below, and you can catch me live on my Twitch stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 8 AM Australian Eastern Daylight Time at platinum_god_game. So come and say hello. So as we go around and gather up these items, I'm a firm believer in the habit of reloading your weapons as soon as you pick up new ammunition. I'm always trying to think ahead of things like the silencer here. I know we're going to need the silencer in our next section, the Red Door, and I know we're going to upgrade the rifle very shortly, upgrade the capacity of the rifle, in case things go bad at any given section throughout this. Sometimes this game never ceases to amaze me. I stand in front of the rear left window and she smashes the middle window. Sometimes it happens when you stand in front of a drawer and try to open it with the context, and they'll pick up something else. Try and pick up an item and she picks up the note instead. You're like, no, I don't want that. It always amuses me. So you'll notice throughout these videos that I move around a lot, and here I purposely slow the footage down because it didn't show how much tape we're picking up. I want you to see how many parts there are, that there's 2 single parts here. I want you to see that there's a certain amount of pills, that sort of thing, so that you can start to count for yourself as well. Okay, so as I mentioned, we are going to upgrade the rifle capacity. We already in Ellie Day 1 in downtown Seattle upgraded accuracy and scope. Now this is something we're going to do anyway. We will use this in Santa Barbara as it is. However, if you can upgrade it now without it affecting other things, that's why I do it. So if things do turn bad, I've got a maximum capacity rifle. As I climb up here, I like to throw the bottle through the window now and swap to the brick. I know you can smash windows with a melee attack, but I want to carry the brick. It's better for bashing the enemies if you need to, and it's also a more localized sound when you throw it, just in case you were wondering. So another reason why I started to upgrade the capacity of the rifle here in Hillcrest is because of this rifle ammo here. This maximizes it. You can hold 6 with an upgraded capacity rifle. So now that's maxed. We have the rifle full. We can swap back over to the shotgun in case we need it in the Red Door. So as I approach the Red Door here, I approach it the same way any other deadly area that I approach, which is double check the weapon cross, make sure everything's in the place that I want it, make sure my silencer is attached, and that I have a brick or a bottle. I haven't forgotten to pick one up. Here we go with Hillcrest Red Door. Now, timing in the Red Door can be fairly tight with this strategy. However, it is fairly risk-free. There's only really one situation that can go wrong, which I'll discuss towards the end of the Red Door. Try and follow my timings here, which is move immediately, get your brick out. Now I slow it down here. There's a rifle ammo in the drawer there. If things go bad and you need to defend yourself, you can fall back to there to get the ammo. So I make sure I go prone before the grass. I have been spotted going prone too late, so I make sure that I do that. And as soon as I get to the end of the wall here, I start my prone dives. Now, if you leave a prone dive a little longer, she will slide a bit. So you can get a little bit of extra distance on the prone dive. So as I'm approaching the crack in the wall here, I go to crouch and then straight through with X. I don't waste any time, and then I'm immediately holding circle. Now I'm watching for the woman with the dog, and I'm just waiting for them to come past. So I try to start proning into the grass as soon as they walk past and I think that she can't see me. I want to be as close behind them as possible without alerting the dog. I stay behind the wall here and turn the camera to see around. The dog should do a loop around the broken wall. And then I move through, keeping an eye on her because she can change where she's looking based on the RNG. I'm watching her this whole time, not the dog. I want to see if she's doing any kind of look back. And this time she's not, so I grab the alcohol, up to crouch and keep watching her until I grab the Red Door. And now I'm listening intently. And that's that. That's my strategy for the Red Door in Hillcrest. So I'm going to stop it right here. Now, if you've seen my All Ellie Day 1 video, you will know that one of the first things I do in downtown Seattle is upgrade from stun bombs to smoke bombs, and it is primarily for a contingency strategy here at the Red Door. So I'm introducing contingency strategies and freeze frame analysis into my strategies in this video and in future videos to help you in case you have problems with a strategy or it fails on you. I'm showing you what to do in a contingency situation so you don't feel like my strategies don't work for you. Now, having said that also, please try to remember I've practiced these strategies and the timings of them and what to do if things go wrong, so I know what the enemy's up to at any given moment most of the time. So if a strategy doesn't work for you straight away, practice it a few times. So the contingency strategy here is if this woman spots you or the other woman down the street, which is possible. Step 1 is to listen if she's setting the dog onto you. If she does, you have to shotgun the dog and then smoke bomb the door. Otherwise, smoke bomb the door as you'll see here and try and escape. Now, the dog can run straight through the smoke, so if the dog is set on you after you've thrown the smoke bomb, you will have to fight your way out. So as I'm waiting for Ellie to open the door, I'm already thinking of what I'm going to do if I get interrupted again, which would be pan the camera around, dodge back into cover, crouch, get the shotgun ready, be ready to heal, and watch the enemies so I can defend myself. Now back to what I was saying before, the contingency strategy. Practicing strategies over and over again is excellent, and it will help you learn the various patterns and different RNGs that you can get from the guards, from the patrols. However, practicing when things go wrong as well is really important, rather than just reloading or starting the encounter again, restarting from a checkpoint. You need to practice those things when they go wrong so you can learn to do better if it happens in a perma run. Now, there's something extra about this workbench here, and I have another video explaining that, so check out the little drop card. Now, incidentally, I go left here and go to the safe room first to avoid more infected spawning when you actually go to the shambler room underneath the bottle shop. Now, talking about strategizing, it's okay to see my strategy and feel like you have another way to do it. I've seen other strategies before and they never worked for me, so I made them my own anyway. I changed and varied up what I do. For example, when I pull the bin out of the way here, I throw a Molotov. You could actually jump back a few steps, select the rifle and wait until they all line up and then shoot the rifle twice, because the rifle bullet will go through 2 and 3 of them at a time, so you can get the 2-fer and the 3-fer. Now when I open the door, I move back a step and I'm aiming at a very specific spot on the floor in between the 2 first runners there. And it should burn 4 of them, 1 of them will remain. So I move backwards away from them around the fence and get my brick handy. This is why we upgraded the axe. If you don't back away a step when you open the door before you throw the Molotov, there's a possibility that you can actually burn to death and a good possibility that you can actually catch fire on your arm. You don't want to have to use a health kit. Now check the bodies for items, and first we're going to craft another Molotov so we don't waste any items when we open the safe. And for our visually impaired friends, the safe code is 308265 308265, and this is also where we get the long arm holster. Now you can acquire the long arm holster back in downtown Seattle in Ellie Day 1. I have another video about that if you're interested as well. Check out the drop down card. This particular room contains so much loot. Now, although we're picking up pills and things like this, remember, don't upgrade anything yet. Once we get out the back of the pet store, that's where we will upgrade the smoke bombs to craft more smoke bombs at a time. Now we're going underneath the liquor store here where there's 2 shamblers for 2 reasons. 1, there's a bunch of stuff down here, and 2, there's another training manual when you exit the building out the other side. Now stay close to your timings here, because once you jump in the shamblers start moving, so don't waste time. Head straight for those parts and back out the other door. Be sure to prone in the doorway, don't go any further. Shamblers can hear you, and I try and aim for the back wall where I just picked up the parts. Once you've thrown the bottle, you can actually go straight up to that table and hold triangle, and she'll grab a whole bunch of stuff at once. And then you have to grab again for the rifle ammo. There's also pills in the bathroom on your way out. These guys don't even come close to detecting you. Now, if you did get burned by the fire, there's a little candy bar here when you threw the Molotov in, so it helps, but it doesn't refill your health. And here is the Chemistry Concepts and Practice Training Manual, also known as the Explosives Training Manual. This unlocks the Explosives branch in the skills tree, and we can then craft improved trap mines. We can craft Molotovs that have an improved blast radius, and later we'll get explosive arrows that we can craft as well. Just remember, do not upgrade the trap mine at this stage. So we're going to grab the brick here, and we're going to head out the back of the pet store, which is connected to the bar. So smash the window, and then I do one hop forwards, one dodge. I grab the pills and then just jog behind this second gurney here on the right. This is where I take the time in absolute safety to choose to upgrade, craft more smoke bombs, and then so I don't waste any items, I craft 2 smoke bombs straight away. These guys never come any further in the room than just jumping over the windowsill. That time they didn't even jump in the windowsill, so don't worry about it. Now we're going to head through the area where they are. So we're going to get into prone almost immediately to avoid the shambler's detection, and we're going to just sit here and wait until the runner comes back. Now you can actually sprint through here if you wanted to and burst out the back door. They don't follow you. However, as I've said before, I like to kill certain runners and stuff in the hopes that I might get an extra drop. So just be patient. Wait for the runner. Here he comes. And follow it out the back. Once you're around the wall, you can come up into crouch and take the runner out. Now, incidentally, I pan the camera around here. So if you wanted to know where to locate the safe code, it's on that wall there where the other notices. Now you'll notice here that even though I go to the explosives branch, that's still locked where you would have the explosive arrows because we don't actually have the bow yet. This is another little section that you can actually just sprint through. I like to kill this guy. Sometimes he gives you scissors or tape, and I keep the camera panned around to see what the other two are doing. Now, if you think that one of the runners is going to come around the corner, don't risk getting slapped. Just jump, run and jump straight over the fence. So this one's coming close, so I'm like, yep, I'm out of here. So once we collect the alcohol out of the cupboard here, we're going to go through the crack in the door to the garage where we meet Boris, the clicker killer. Now I like to select the revolver so that Ellie doesn't accidentally take out the brick when you use the melee here, because I use the axe straight away on Boris. That's why I upgrade it. Just another quick reminder, if you are enjoying the video so far, please don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons and check the bell alert so you get notified the next time a video goes live. Once we have control again, it's time to set up for Hillcrest Houses. So what we're going to do is straight away craft an arrow, and we're going to rearrange the weapon cross. So what we ultimately want to do is, I like to put the shotgun on the inside, I've put the bow on the outside, and remember to put the silencer back on your pistol, just in case. Now also, when we open the door here, there is a little exploit for Boris here. I have another video about that. It's a little trick. Just check out the drop down card. One last little weapon check, and here we go. Hillcrest Houses. So my strategy here for Hillcrest Houses is a stealth / speed strategy, and timing is kind of tight, but not super strict. So you want to move as soon as the game lets you, and prone dive across the gap here. 3 prone dives in total. Now be careful when Ellie gets in the window, sometimes she stands up. And you need to crouch again. Grab the tape, get your brick out immediately. And if you face forwards through the drop down here, she lands quicker. Restabilizes, I mean. Now I hold circle when I climb up here to stay in prone. And then once I'm past the doorway there, I go up into crouch. Now when we get up onto this veranda, we're looking through the window to see the guy going out the front door. Sometimes he does a look back, so try and spot him early. If he's not, try and switch to the bow as quick as you can, because this lady may be looking back as well. Check on her. I switched to my bow quite late here. Now when we get on the other side of the tree, this is where it can get interesting. So I'm going to stop it right here. Bang. Now there's 4 enemies including a dog. Now we're going to fire the arrow at full draw through the gazebo at the back fence. And when we do, it should get their attention. Now sometimes this doesn't happen, and I'll show you after this a contingency strategy. Got their attention, so prone dive your way across behind the car, and you should be able to get straight through into the garage. Keep an eye on the woman's feet. She will walk and look out the back. That gives you enough time to get the explosive on the right and hide behind the counter. Now she always runs out the door here. She runs away and you just slip out the back. Now you run a little bit and go straight into prone dives and they lose you immediately. So now it's just jogging and staying in prone. Once we get through the windowsill here though and get up to the next house, we do actually need to cause an alert by hitting a guy with a brick. Try to get right to the edge of the grass before you throw the brick at this guy and then run. Now, when you drop down into the basement, there's another brick. Pick it up and immediately switch to the smoke bomb. Now, I will try and get behind the cover here and crouch down and wait until they're a bit off the stairs so you don't get blocked. One stayed on the stairs, but I can run around. Otherwise, melee chop them. Duck through the gap here, over the back edge. And that's Hillcrest Houses done there. Now, if you got hit, it's okay. You can heal at the start of the next scene, and you get a free health kit anyway. So now for the contingency strat. So most times when this strategy goes wrong is when, say, this guy does a look back. It slows you down for 3 or 4 seconds. Or this woman here on the right does a look back like she is, and you have to wait. Now the dog and the handler will move further around the left beside the car, and they won't hear the arrow, so they keep walking towards you. You'll see what I mean. I let them walk a little bit longer here. So if you're slow, they don't hear it. Now get your shotgun ready and try and shoot both of them with the one shot. Then run. And again, it doesn't matter if you get hit. You can heal at the end of this section. And again, go back into a sprint and then prone dives. They lose you immediately. Now, Ellie didn't want to jump through the window here. That's freaky during a permadeath run when she does that stuff. So you see they've lost me already. no problem. And the strategy plays out now almost exactly the same way as it would if they didn't know that I was here. Also, take note, after I threw the brick here, Ellie didn't want to stand up and run, which gave that guy enough time to recover and get a shot on me. Again, doesn't matter. Same thing though, grab the brick, change to the smoke bomb, hide behind the couch, and wait a sec. I was even late on the smoke bomb there and it just cleared the stairs for me. Strategy plays out exactly the same. It's very forgiving, very consistent strategy. Alright, so that's Hillcrest Houses and the Contingency strategy. Now we're going to get straight into the next one here. Duck down straight away, try and heal. If she grabs a weapon, you have full health. Now we're going to try and time our exit here. When Jesse starts to make his move, we're going to start moving on the woman on the right. Now, even if you're a little late on her, it doesn't matter. Sometimes you can get her here now, other times you grab her and you drag her back. You want to leave her feet level with the edge of the fence kind of thing, so the two on the street see it. Now don't push all the way forwards to the fence here. Stay back a bit and keep an eye on them. If you go to the fence, they can change their RNG and come around the side to where you are. And keep going as quick as you can behind the woman in the vest here and grab her. Jesse should take care of the other one. If he doesn't, shoot him in the head. Take her hostage and shoot him in the head. Okay, now I take the silencer off. You probably don't even need to do that. And you'll see there's a free health kit here. But we're full. So away we go. Now this next part is just a bit of fun. Try and get as many headshots as you can. You cannot die until it comes to the driver in the other vehicle and the clicker. The only two ways you can die. Now, when you get up to the part where the vehicle is alongside of you and you have to shoot the driver, yes, you can die from him, and your ammo is now being counted down. So every shot after that last reload, before you pull up alongside and Jesse says shoot the driver, that's when your ammo starts being active. So the amount of ammo you use from that point will be the amount of ammo that you start the next section Seraphites with after you do finding strings. So try and conserve it. You ultimately want to do a headshot on the driver and 2 headshots on the clicker. I believe it's from that reload onwards now, and I miss and then I shoot twice. So 3 shots there, which to me doesn't make sense. It must be some kind of randomization as well. Because I know I shoot the clicker twice only, both headshots, and I have a trick for it too. You don't really need to aim. If you try and aim, you get bounced around more. So I basically leave the reticle where it is, and it lines up nicely with the clicker's head. So you shoot once when it lines up the first time, and then you wait a second and the clicker's head lines up again. It's freaky and scary because if you miss, there's a good chance that you might panic and miss again and you will die from the clicker. So watch my reticle here, I'm not aiming. I just kept it straight. And that is officially Hillcrest Houses finished. Although, be careful, you can drown here. There's nothing worse than losing a permadeath run to something as dumb as drowning in a cutscene or a flashback, and the worst ever, a fall death. Maybe, perhaps, a glitch death. They're pretty fucked. Welcome to Finding Strings. Now, I didn't see the point in leaving the Tommy Sniper training experience in. You can't die there, so I thought I'd just focus on showing you where to collect all of the items for the lead up to the hotel and the bloater.
Making sure I have everything.
Now you can grab the bottle here. I'm going to craft a Molotov straight away because we will acquire enough stuff once we actually start the hotel infected area. By the time we get ready for that, we will have 1 1/4 alcohol. We'll have only 3/4 cloth. We should have 3 rifle bullets and 7 pistol bullets. And of course a med kit. And once we move inside the infected area, you will find that 1/4 of a cloth.
That was a nice twist how they escaped.
Too funny.
Music stores.
So once you jump over here, if you're too far ahead and you don't wait a second up the top here, it won't trigger the line that Ellie's supposed to say,
I don't think we can go this way.
which is, I don't think we can go this way. If that happens, jump back on top of the van and then jump back over again. So also to speed things up here, don't open the door straight away. Wait until Joel delivers the hotel line.
I'm up for it.
1, 2, 3. Open and Joel will magically appear.
Damn it.
Just saves you a little bit of time.
Oh, that might be something. You think you can fit in there?
It's worth a shot.
Careful now.
Through! Hold on!
All right. Anything?
Looking.
If you didn't grab the bottle in the lodge, this is the place to pick up a throwable. I wait and pick up the brick here because I think a brick's better than a bottle. However, if you did grab the bottle, smash it against the wall now and grab the brick.
Patrol the streets. Send it to them.
Once you've done these sections over and over and over again, you develop a fairly solid routine to collect the items the way that you will remember them and in the most efficient way possible. So I go through the 2 rooms on the left there, then I make my way down the hall to the 3rd door on the right, where we find our final rifle ammo and some more alcohol. Don't forget to reload the rifle. So you'll notice that once I start moving, out of habit, I pull out a brick. I know there's no infected here. I know there's nothing that can harm me. Also, this bathroom is commonly missed, especially the shower here. There's some cloth and a pipe, and I've seen a lot of people forget the pipe, or ask me when I'm live streaming, how did you get the pipe, where's the pipe? So it's in the shower in the second last room on the right, which is also the same room connected to where you're going. Now check your items: 3 rifle, 7 pistol, 1 Molotov, 1 health kit, 1 1/4 alcohol, and 3/4 cloth. You get the remaining 1/4 of cloth needed almost immediately in the infected room in the lodge, in the bar lounge area. However, it's risky to grab before you've killed all of the infected, and I'll show you why. Okay, so this section also is fairly tight on the timing, especially at the start. So I purposely move straight after Joel for the left-hand side, and I face the right for a reason. If you go on the left-hand side, Joel will move through the doors and kill the stationary runner. Plus, I want to see what's going on and move immediately to the next door frame, still facing the right. Start spamming triangle, and when you see the shadow, she should grab this runner. You're still in cover at this point. Now I'm looking for the runner in the background, near the front windows. Once I've seen this runner, I'll move over to the left for the runner near the windows here. Now, I don't think you need to stay in prone. I do because I've been seen by the runner in the back right of the stage here. So I wait for this runner on the other side to do a short walk and stop. They'll turn back, and when they do, I jump up, grab this runner and drag them into cover. Alright, now comes a fairly tricky part. I wait right at the edge of the door here. Now we're waiting for the clicker to go just beyond the monitor that's on the bar. And we're going to throw the brick into the other room. It'll get just the clicker's attention. Now you need to wait a second as it passes you, so that when Ellie lunges and grabs it, you will remain in cover on the right hand side of the door. Like that. Pan the camera around to make sure that you're blocked from the other runner on the left there. Now wait for that runner to move away again. Then we're going to move left and backwards to behind the bar where there's a bottle. Keep watching this runner. The last thing you need now is an alert. Now, coming up is that bit of cloth. Now, I grab it. I recommend leaving it because Joel tries to take the position under the window like that, and you need to climb through. Now, stay away from the edge of the wall here. Joel can push you out of cover straight into the side of that runner. Now that infected's moving away, make your way through and take the left edge, or Joel will take it. Move right up to the edge, you won't be seen. Now this particular part requires a little bit of patience. Sometimes you have to wait a few rotations, and what I'm waiting for is for this runner here and this runner here to be facing each other next to the fireplace there. When they get there, then I'll move around behind this runner in the pattern they're doing right now, that little stumble. So we just have to wait until they're close enough together. Now, when the runner on the right is at the fireplace and the runner on the left is just leaving, like now, that's close enough because they've got quite a distance to walk and they stop where the arrow is. They pause there for a bit. Now this runner will walk towards us and stumble left and then right. When they move right, get after them. Now you should be in cover from the wall that supports the fireplace. Most times Joel will go and kill the other runner in the background there. This time you can see he didn't, and that's fine. We're just going to wait for them to come back. In the meantime, as I just mentioned, the last thing you need is an alert right now, and I'll tell you why. When you're down to the last 2 infected, you can actually get back into cover from an alert and it will resume stealth. But if Joel kills one of them, or you end up killing one of them yourself and go below 2 infected, then you will face the waves of infected that come after that. Now comes the part where you go around and collect everything. Now we have the cloth, we already grabbed it, but there's rifle ammo here and a bat if you got into trouble. Now, I like, as I've mentioned, a brick. So I throw the bottle there and grab the brick. I go around and check all of the infected here for ammo that I maybe didn't pick up. That's where the cloth was. Wait until you've killed them, come back and grab it, and now you can craft another Molotov. Now that you're certain you're through to the bloater, craft the second Molotov. One last check, make sure everything's loaded. Plenty of rifle ammo, which I like to save the rifle ammo. I use one at the start on the bloater. However, I like to save the rifle ammo for runners because it kills them in one shot, whereas the pistol may not. So straight off the bat here, I'm going to try and get the Molotov out and hit the bloater with that. And then I'm going for a rifle shot to the head or neck area. I reload my rifle straight away and go for the pistol ammo on the seat. I want to try and shoot the bloater as much as possible with the pistol and then just avoid it. There's no clear strategy besides avoiding it. You can make things go a certain way most of the time. However, it's quite a bit of ad-lib here. So he threw that at Joel, I can keep shooting. But when he runs away here, I want my brick because a runner will drop from the ceiling. Brick, pipe, and run away again. Now, this is part time based and also part damage based. So you want to damage the bloater as much as possible and drain the clock until at least that second runner drops in. So you keep avoiding it, running away. Another runner's going to drop in very soon and you don't want to be where I am right now. So I would need to move to the other side. I mean, you can swing the pipe at it. I choose to shoot it from distance and just avoid it. That's why you have the pipe as well, because the bloater can move around after Joel and end up near you when you don't want it to be. So you just need to be aware of where the bloater is. Again, keep loading it up. Have another Molotov. Have some more rifle. Now a third runner will jump in. But by this stage, you can pretty much let the bloater grab you. I'm just playing with it now. So when you couldn't be bothered shooting it anymore, just let it hit you. Now, none of these items carry over, so it's a little annoying that the game makes you pick up the items here before Joel moves to the door. Sometimes he doesn't even move to the door right away either, like he just stands there looking around and stuff. So if you move to the door and then go back to Joel, you can encourage him to go to the door. Now, because there's nowhere to get lost or die and these items don't carry over, we're going to say that's finding strings complete. Next stop, Seraphites. Welcome to Seraphites. Now, the first thing I like to do when I start a new section is to check out the weapons cross and rearrange things. Plus, we want to have a look at our pistol ammo since we finished Hillcrest. So 4, that's not too bad. I like to keep the shotgun on the inside, as I said, that's my emergency response weapon. And the items, we can't craft any Molotovs or health kits, that's fine, that means we're going well. Now I keep a balance between my explosives and most items, so we're going to craft a trap mine. And we're going to acquire more items, so we're going to craft an arrow right away. Now, when it comes to the skills tree upgrades, do not upgrade improved trap mines, even though you can. Okay, we are going to use an unupgraded trap mine for the Seraphites Red Door, and the next upgrade will be faster stealth kills. So let's get on and gather up all these items. Again, you'll notice here the brick comes into hand. Even though I know there's no enemies, it's that force of habit. It's also a good idea, just in case you have something in your hand that you can throw, say such as a Molotov or something like that, that you might accidentally throw against a wall or on the ground and kill yourself. I've seen it happen, it's not pretty. I think I've done it myself too. Just a reminder also, if you are enjoying the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell alert so you get notified when new videos go live. So just a reminder also, I'm purposely taking longer and turning the light when I'm picking up items so that you can see what the item is and how much of it is. Now I stop here because there's shotgun ammo if you've used it and you have little or none. Don't forget to check there if you're running low. Now the next stop will be the pub across the street, but we will be going up here into the conference center. Now I choose not to do this conference center first, and I'll explain that later when we get up there. But first we're going to go and break a window here in such a way that it won't disturb the 2 runners and the 2 clickers inside the bar. Now I'm aiming for the bottom right corner of the window, and I want to be far enough away so that the brick is only just reaching the window, just to be certain I don't disturb them. And I wait and listen. When I can't hear any runners going crazy or clickers going off their head, I come over, grab the bottle. Now there's some parts and some cloth. Most of the time I'm full on the cloth in here anyway. Now again, here is my clicker trick. So if you stay in prone about 10 meters away, they won't hear you. And when it comes to grabbing them, you need to be within about 1 meter or 3 feet. Now I stop moving, pop up into crouch and press triangle. If you move, it will alert them. So you don't need to push forwards on the left stick when you're grabbing them. She will lunge out and grab them. Okay, clicker's out of the way. Now we move out the back where there's 2 runners sleeping. Now when you grab the runner on the right here, be sure to move back 2 steps because otherwise it alerts the runner on the left. So I drag back, then kill them. Now we already know I'm full on alcohol here, but show you that there's half a bottle there in 2/4 bottles, just so you know it's there if you need it. Now when we get up here into the conference center, I'll explain why I don't do this first. I do it second now. And it's pretty straightforward. I felt like a bit of an idiot when I decided I could do it faster through this area and do this first. Now you look when I throw the bottle through the window in the awning here, look where it lands. Right in front of the window where the second sleeping clicker is. So if you do this first, it just sets them all off. Don't bother. Now we're going to pick up the brick and grab the rope and throw it through where we just threw the bottle, and then jump down onto the van so we can get into the conference room, into the boardroom. Now, this is a context rope, so walk right up to the corner of the van and just wait for the X to appear. Again, here's my habitual behavior coming into play again. I'm pretty certain that my rifle was full, but out it comes and I check the reload anyway. Just a force of habit now, and it's not a bad habit to get into. Same with popping the brick in your hand. There you go, every time. Now, quick check of the items to see if we can craft any more arrows. We're still short, because sometimes you pick up scissors from one of those infected in the kitchen area. So now we're off to the apartments to do some more looting and open a safe. There's plenty of stuff in here to grab as well. Now, when we get up into the apartment, there is a locked door. Now, if you check the top right corner here of the screen, you'll see I have drop down cards. I have 2 different videos showing you different methods to complete this. Now, when you activate that workbench, 4 WLF soldiers come out of this door and attack you. Now, what's behind the door I find is not worth it in a permadeath run. There's like 8 pills, a quarter explosive, and 1 revolver ammo. It is not worth it. Alright, time for the safe. Which, for our visually impaired friends, the safe combination is 81083. That's 081083. This is also one of those safes where the combination is like in the same room with the safe. So if you look at the calendar here, you'll see on the 8th of October, the 30th wedding anniversary, and the year is 2013. So subtract 30 and you've got 83. Also, that safe can actually be put in the American date system and the Australian date system. So you can put 810 or you can put 108. Either way, it still opens. Now, we're full on alcohol, but if you're not, there is some at the top of the scissor lift here. I'll show you up close with the rifle. It's a quarter of a bottle, and we don't need it, so we're just going to go and grab the tape that's over here on the shelf, and then move the bin. Now, I've sped this up to try and shorten the length of the video. It's pretty straightforward. I'm sure a lot of you have done this before anyway. You grab the bin, you take it to the top of the ramp, and then when you let it go, you sprint for the chain to raise the roller shutter. You only need to hold it for 2 pulls as well. Now this next little trick, a lot of people don't know about this, but you can unlock this gate. So if you've used a bottle or you feel like you've forgotten something, go check there. You can unlock the gate and run back out into the entire stage. Now we actually need a throwable here so you don't have to waste any ammo. We need a bottle or a brick to throw through this window here to break into the manager's office. Like that. Now, little side stop-offs like this are not imperative, but are fairly important to my strategy when we're in Santa Barbara, because if I've missed even 3 parts, it means the difference between being able to upgrade the pistol with only recoil or only stability. Whereas if I've got all of the parts that I plan to collect, I should be able to upgrade both. Now, don't forget to reload your pistol. In this instance, I did. So we're going to check our items again here. We can craft another arrow. We're going to get some more scissors once we get inside the Stalker office. Now, I'm going to craft 2 more smoke bombs to free up canister space. And later we can craft a trap mine, but at this stage we only need the 1 trap mine for the Seraphites Red Door. Now, you can actually chase this Stalker down and kill it. You can throw the bottle at it or you can shoot it straight away. It doesn't matter. I don't think it really affects the next section anyway. It's just a bit of fun. So this next section is basically a speed strategy. So when we do start running, we're going to run through that hallway on the right. First we go left, we collect some scissors. Get your brick in hand whenever you're moving. There's alcohol in the main corridor here if you need it. Now the object of this strategy is to alert the stalkers up ahead to my location. So I am going to start sprinting when I get to the corner of the desk here. We're going through that corridor. Now I sprint a few steps and then I jog and then I start sprinting to my destination, which was where I pointed that arrow before. Sometimes there's a stalker in the corridor here. You brick him, he'd be here on the left. This case, he's not there, so we get a sweet straight run through. Now there's canister and explosive here I can grab really quickly, so I don't have to come back in. However, once you jump through here, you can actually go back in and grab it, but I don't recommend it, it's dangerous. Now that strategy may take a few practice goes. That was the perfect run. And I actually have lost permadeath runs there, so give it a few goes and play with the timings. I got my timing spot on there for the sprint and the jog. And the RNG made it lucky so that we didn't get the stalker in the hall. Now there's a bottle here, just in case we did have to use it on the stalker in the hall. Now I keep in stealth here and I go to only half press slower movement here. I'm very specific about where I aim the bottle on the wall here. We need a bottle for this strat, and there's one in the other room. Great. Now we're drawing out the stalkers. There's 4 stalkers and 1 clicker here. And I wait until they're all grouping together and about to leave. And then I torch them. Get my shotgun ready immediately for the clicker and move around a bit so it comes to me. I don't want to get grabbed by a stalker. Bye bye clicker. Now I run for that bottle, or at least into the other room, even if we've used the bottle. So that way I can force the stalker through the gap and shoot it in the leg with the revolver. This time it's bottle grab stab, and that should be the end of it. Listen to the music and Ellie, it'll indicate if there's any more. Now if stalkers do remain, I like to run around in the corner of a room and force them to come to me through a gap in the wall. Then shoot them in the leg and stomp their head. And that's our cue that we have killed all 4 stalkers and the clicker. Don't forget to grab that shotgun ammo, reload the shotgun, and I reload the pistol that I forgot to do before. I replenish immediately the Molotov that I threw. And we've already crafted trap mines and smoke bombs, so we know we've got space for the canister here. There's also another bottle that we can pick up and some explosive in the next room. Now I'm also going to go and check the bodies and see if we get any bonus drops. But as per usual on Grounded, stingy, stingy, stingy. Now, do not forget this bottle. We need that for the strategy down in the sewer where there's a stalker growing into the wall in a room full of loot. It'll save you ammo. Now, fun fact here, you only have to stab the stalker once. The context goes away, but you can stab it up to 3 times. Okay, so get your bottle in hand. Now what I do is I take 1 step towards the stalker and then move right back to the back of the room. I wait until it's done its swing at me and then I throw the bottle and grab stab. Now although I'm pretty certain about the items that I have, I like to check frequently before picking up items. Great habit to get into so you don't have a quarter of something remaining and then pick up 3/4 where you could have crafted another one. And now you've just wasted half an explosive. So try to get into that habit of checking your items before you pick up. Don't forget the brick and canister. Now, I say a lot of this stuff and purposely put it in the recording so that you might hear me say, don't forget the brick. So that when you're here in your own playthrough, you hear that voice and you say, oh, don't forget the brick, we need it. Don't forget to put the silencer on here either, just in case. You shouldn't be shooting any weapons here at all in this next section of Pilgrim Park. Welcome to Pilgrim Park. Now, this is a stealth strategy and the timings are fairly tight. There's a few things to look out for and I will try and point them out as best as possible. Now be careful here, you can actually die here and grounded does not prompt you to hold R1 to remove the arrow. Also, you need to pay close attention to my timings and movements here. So I move immediately and I take 2 upright jog steps here and get my brick out. I start my 4 prone dives so that my first one lands in the bush, in cover. And when I climb out, I'm holding circle immediately after pressing X. Straight away I'm looking for the guy on the right here in the hoodie. And I'm staying as far left as possible around the tree. There he is. I pan the camera back to keep an eye on him because there's about 3 different RNG based patrol routes he can take. Now I'm immediately looking for the woman with the axe. I pick up the pistol ammo and a soft alert happens. So someone thought they saw something and spotted me. Now I need to try and stay fairly close behind her. Just keep an eye on her and where she's going, because when she starts to double back, when we get on the other side of the bush, no one's after me, that's good. When she doubles back here, that's when we're going to go and swap the axe, so we end up with a full axe. Now we're still in stealth, we've had no alert yet. If you do cop an alert here, get up and run for the door, forget the arrow. If someone is right in front of you and you're alerted by them, that's what the brick is for. Throw the brick and run for this door. Next item of business. I grab the candy bar here for a little health boost, but I also heal with a full health kit. You get a full health kit in Weston Pharmacy safe, so do not craft another one. As I just mentioned, do not craft another health kit. You get a full one in the safe in Weston Pharmacy. We will craft a trap mine here to max out our items. We're about to get more explosive and canister. Okay, so these are the remaining supplements needed in order to upgrade our next branch in the skills tree. So we're going to now upgrade faster stealth kills. This is mainly for Santa Barbara and in case anything goes wrong in the Red Door or future sections. The next upgrade will be improved trap mines after the Seraphites Red Door. Now we do craft another arrow here. We're about to use one in the upcoming strategy. And we do pick up some more scissors along the way. Especially after the Seraphites Red Door, there's a lot of scissors and tape within the office. Alright, welcome to Seraphites Red Door. It's time to quickly rearrange the weapon cross. I like to keep the shotgun on the inside as mentioned, and for this strategy I want the bow on the outside. Double check that all of your weapons are loaded and that the silencer is on the pistol and that you have a brick or a bottle. If you don't have a brick or a bottle, you can climb back up the ladder and get one. And away we go. Make sure that you actually select the bow as your weapon so that you don't have to change when you drop into the next area. All you have to do is tap aim and she will pull the bow out. Now this is a one-shot stealth strategy using a distraction technique. My timings are very tight here and everything that I do is with meticulous purpose. Where I time my prone dives here so I'm not spotted. I let one of the prone dives slide because you cannot prone dive in water. Where I aim the bow here is very important, on the tree. Where I do my prone dive now is very important, again because of the water. I want to prone dive over the water and get into the cover here. There's two guards on my left that can see you. If you're spotted in the early stages here, find cover because it just became a kill-all. A quick note. When you do prone dives a little bit early and leave it, she can slide into the next area. You can slide under the log, you can slide into the water. Now here we're looking for this woman that comes down the stairs. In this occasion, I had to slow the footage right down because ordinarily she is coming out that doorway in the background there. Now I just spotted her behind the car, so we're fine. Sometimes she's only just coming out of the stairs, so we need to watch for her. The next thing we're looking for is the woman in the background here and the various different ways that she can look. Again, RNG based patrol patterns and sidewards looks. Now I prone dive as quick as I can to get to this tree on the right. Then I stand up and take a one-step sprinting jump. If you start this too close, she will not jump. Careful, because if you mistime that, you will fall to your death. Now there's scissors and cloth out here if you need it. And we immediately want to get out the back while these other scars are jumping in from the truck at the back of the stage. I prone dive here for safety and all the way to the back of the stage and take cover behind the pillar. That's when I get out my trap mine ready for the next part. You'll see I point out the two we're looking for here. So we are trying to keep an eye on this guy and the woman behind the taxi. When they walk away, that's when we're going to make our way to the first window on the left. We're going to smash that and sprint through to a very specific part of the shelving unit where we're going to place the unupgraded trap mine. So as we go through here, I'm looking for the pole and put the trap mine in between the two arrows, just after the pole. Now open the door and start spamming square, your melee attack. Bang, get your shotgun out, and here's where we need to stop again. There's a few ways this can play out. Firstly, you can shoot this guy now and the other guy will go and hide in cover behind the desk. That's fine. You can keep the shotgun trained just above the desk around that corner, and when he pops up you can shoot him. Second, if you wait a little bit, you can try and get both of them with the one shotgun blast. If the other guy happens to get in front and you only get him, you simply fire again. And worst case scenario, and this is a kicker, the worst case scenario is the guy that's on the left who's about to try and run through the red door. If he manages to get past you onto the right, just beside the door, he is now point blank range with a rifle and he can shoot you dead instantly. Be careful. Dream case scenario, I got both of them at once. Now there's rifle ammo on the desk, and as we pan around, there's some canister, and there should be, I say should be, a quarter explosive. There's the canister, and the quarter explosive should be here. And even after going around the desk, it wasn't. So there should be that explosive there. I couldn't find it. Don't waste time. I run and grab these items. In the drawer on the left straight ahead, there's revolver ammo. We don't bother with that. We grab the rifle ammo, we grab the scissors from the desk, and we get out. Again, another situation, if you get shot at here, you can choose to defend yourself, or you can throw a smoke bomb. Now, in the interest of fluidity, I'm leaving the replay of this section in so that you can see it in real time, because I've interrupted it and broken it down with my new strategy analysis. And that's Seraphites Red Door complete. Now we've got some items to gather up here. We need to craft some things. We need to do some things like check if we need to heal. And we pick up a training manual, a bunch of scissors, some tape, some alcohol. Now, remember, we get the full health kit in the safe, so don't craft a med kit. Craft another arrow by all means. And we can craft another trap mine. We will pick up canister and explosive in Weston Pharmacy before the hospital. This training manual is the Outdoor Sportsman, which actually unlocks the precision branch in the skills tree. Now this final branch unlock gives you aim stability increase, faster aim movement, the ability to hold your breath while aiming, and the ability to craft more arrows. Now I pretty much don't use any of these. Our next upgrade will be the improved trap mines, followed by the Molotov radius. Now, if you forget the safe code, I highly encourage you to, of course, watch these videos again. Otherwise, this particular safe code is right on the bottom of this note. Having said that, another reminder, please, if you are enjoying the videos, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons and check the bell alert so you get notified when new videos go live. As always, for our visually impaired friends, the safe code is 385523, 385523. Now, quick item check. We are maxed out on health kits, molotovs, smoke bombs, trap mines, and arrows. We have acquired more pills, so now we can actually upgrade improved trap mines. Then we will do the molotov, and now you can see explosive arrows is there as well. Now, a weapon upgrade that I would do for Santa Barbara anyway is the rangefinder on the bow. Now, I do it here in case things go bad at the hospital and I do manage to get myself into cover. you can pick off enemies really easily and silently with the rangefinder. Now, having said that about the bow, before I enter the hospital, I like to have the rifle on the weapon cross next to the shotgun, in case I actually have to shoot enemy soldiers and defend myself. Make sure that the silencer is on the pistol, make sure everything is reloaded, a quick items check as well. We are good to go. There's nothing more we can upgrade, nothing more we can craft. I jump diagonally here because there's a car under the water and you can die if you land on it. Now, the hospital is one of the most complex areas within the game, which is why I say Ellie Day 2 is the most intense and most difficult stage of the Ellie percentage. Welcome to Hospital with Ellie. Now, coming up, I have a full strategy breakdown, a strategy analysis where I will show you where all of the guards are, what to look for, various scenarios of RNG and patterns that can take place, and that final section of this stage, once you get up to the window, is mostly about patience and timing. One final weapon check, make sure everything is loaded, silencer in place, and off we go. Now, the first section of this is fairly straightforward in stealth, and there are things that I do, such as prone dives, that are placed purposely to minimize the risk of being spotted. So the first few prone dives I do are to avoid being spotted by the guy in the tower. The next prone dive I do is to avoid the guy in the tent spotting me. And until we make it to the grass, it's pretty straightforward. And here is where I begin my strategy analysis. So first you need to watch these two guards, Bear and Handler and the guy on the left. The guy on the left won't pose much of a threat after the 3 prone dives to the grass. Stay in prone until you get up against the window and keep an eye out for this chick here who does a capital T-shaped pattern, and she will walk to the window. Now we're going to wait until she looks away. We don't want to be too long because otherwise Bear and Handler will be coming back into the building over our left shoulder. The next thing we're looking for is a guard on the right here down the stairs there. He does a clockwise rotation around the service desk. Now jump through the window, and if he is in the rotation where he spots you, it will cause a soft alert. So what you need to do is throw your brick as far down the hallway as you can. There's the guy on the right. Now he will investigate the down arrow where the brick landed, and then he should return back to normal. Then it's just a matter of patience. Where we're hiding right now, you can stay there as long as you like. But the next 2 things we're looking for is the guard in the tower. Now he can actually cause a hard alert if he spots you killing her. Then we have Bear and Handler, who are actually there right now and can spot you between the 2 pillars. And of course we have the guy downstairs who may spot you during his circular rotation if you're killing her. So we need to sneak out and get her. Now I got really lucky here. Bear and Handler were right there and didn't look through. After killing her, I move immediately for cover, and when I don't hear anything, I go for the shotgun ammo and the explosive. Now I need to work out where these 2 are. There are 2 down the hall here, not just the guy. There's 2 that can spot you. There they are. The chick who does a spinny do, she walks around and does a circular loop around the back section. He comes towards us with the down arrow and the left arrow there around the service desk. When they're not looking, I make a break for the hall. You can use the wall on your left to stay in cover when you're moving. Now here, Bear and Handler may be on their way back in, so keep an eye on them. There's also 2 guys that patrol that back left area over the service desk that can spot you as well. So be careful when traversing through here, and if you're spotted at this point, put a trap mine down on the left here behind the pillar and take cover behind this chair. Now there's 3 guards in this section. The first one isn't here, and she usually is. There's a woman who does a circular clockwise rotation in and out of that room and between the gurneys, and she'll stop at the door frame there near the arrow with her back to you, but she will look back when she starts to do her rotation again. There's a woman over the back left that doesn't come into play unless alerted. Then there's this guy who does a patrol up and down that corridor only. We're going to throw a smoke bomb at the door behind him and exit the stage. Now I can't see her, so she's probably going to pop out where he's walking now. And if you're spotted at this point, smoke bomb the enemy, then smoke bomb the door immediately, and sprint and get out. Don't kill anyone. Now here she is on our left. Really scary. But they will not attack you through the smoke. So we're out of here. That's complete. Now, like I've done before with the strategy analysis, in the interest of fluidity, I'm going to play this section again from the start for you. I'm also going to remind you and say, please, if the strategy doesn't work for you the first time, that's okay. This is a very complex strategy with very unique timings and so many variables. Practice it a few times over and over again and see what happens when you jump through the window. See the different ways that they can look. See the different ways that the chick that walks near the window will look back, when she'll turn, when she won't. See how the guards all sync up, the guy in the tower, bear and handler, the 2 down the stairs. And just try it a few times. This is my main strategy. Now I've broken it down a few different ways for you. I've died 3 out of 4 runs at one point during my permadeath completion runs. 3 out of 4 times in a row I died in the hospital here, and this is what prompted me to make this breakdown of the strategy for you. I thought, if this is troubling me, then there's going to be lots of people out there that this is going to trouble as well. So again, you can wait in that corner. You can simply hide there as long as you need to, as long as you're not spotted or alerted. If it's a soft alert, okay. Sometimes the guy will even come and have a look behind the box. But there are strategies around that as well. So play around with the timings and find out where they are. But each little section of this strategy, there's a spot where you can wait where you're not going to be spotted. So if you're patient and pick your moments properly, you can stealth it through here every time. Especially once you understand where all the guards are and what their rotations are and possible ways that they'll react.
Got a trespasser! Over here!
Well, that's the freaky part of Ellie Day 2 Hospital out of the way. Welcome to Hospital Basement. So, one last little section to get through before completing Ellie Day 2. Now, in cover here, I start pressing up on the D-pad every second or so until it moves up to the smoke bomb. Then I throw the smoke bomb as soon as possible between the two guards on the right. Then I run as fast as I can to the door. Now, something worth noting is even if they shoot at you or actually shoot you, keep trying to open the door. The noise will only alert the clickers to them. And that's Ellie Day 2 complete. Now the last thing we need to do is craft more smoke bombs. Also, you'll notice I moved away from the door very quickly there because I have seen a glitch where a WLF soldier can shoot you through the door dead after you've escaped and you lose your permadeath run. So here we go, craft 2 more smoke bombs for the start of Ellie Day 3 and that's it. As you can see, we have quite a lot of items now. We have quite a lot of ammo. We've really done well to conserve our items for Ellie Day 3, the bloater fight, and to progress on to Santa Barbara. So the next video in this series will of course be all of Ellie Day 3. So I hope you enjoyed the video and found it helpful. Don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons and check that bell alert so you get notified the next time a video goes live. Also, if you have any questions, chuck them into the comments below. I'm Platinum God Games, and until next time, game like a god.